Jesus is back with a vengeance.
You've seen the passion of the Christ. Now behold his fury. Framed for a crime he didn't commit and left for dead. Jesus is back.
In American Jesus. Coming soon.
Welcome to another episode of EMZT Radio. I'm Bane Hellborn with my partner, the infamous MJ.
Hello, everybody. Your friendly neighborhood Space Pope has arrived once again, and we are finally back together again. We had some technical issues last week.
And scheduling conflicts.
Yeah. And scheduling conflicts and technical issues. And
yeah.
The universe did not want us to do a podcast last week. So
not together.
No. Did not want us to do a podcast. But, hey, we're back. We're here, and a whole bunch of fun to be had this week, I'm sure. We have an interview just a little bit later on, do we not?
Yes, David Fitzgerald with a zombie board game, Dead Things.
Yes, and that could lead to a few more announcements we could be having in the future.
Yes.
So,
yes, we don't want to give away anything now because it's not set in stone yet.
Yes, and also that's also what we call in the business a tease.
Just show a little thigh, just a little.
Yeah, we're showing ankle. We're showing ankle.
Ankle, got it.
Yeah, ankle. Oh yeah, baby, ankle. Woo! We're showing ankle. All right. Anyways,
so yesterday I rented Terrifier. Something Sarah had reviewed, and believe it or not, that was an Indiegogo project, and it was amazing.
How did we?
And they did all. I don't know.
How did that get
I don't
past
know.
us?
When I saw it, and I also saw it on some of my horror forums, people were talking about it. I'm like, what the hell is this movie? So I found it on Redbox, and I'm like, I'm gonna watch this. And it was all practical effects, no CGI. It's a killer clown movie, but he is so weird and twisted, and he doesn't make a sound. Like when he gets hurt, he doesn't scream, he doesn't cry, he doesn't make a sound. But he makes the motion like he's in pain, like his mouth is hanging. Bank. Yeah, and it's just weird, and it was very well done for an Indiegogo project. I did not know about this.
Yeah, we did not know about this.
But it's amazing. Go get it. Redbox has it. I don't know if it's out on video on demand or anything. And then I also rented the second Strangers, which is Prey at Night. It's the same group of killers, and they're at an island, like, trailer park. So, it's like a seasonal trailer park, so there's only one couple that live there. And their family was coming in. Yeah, their family was coming in to stay with them for a while.
Ugh.
And these killers just went nuts at this trailer park. It was okay, but they did leave it open possibly for a third one, which I hope not. Hope not. Yeah.
I hated the first one and I hated the second one.
Yeah, I hope they don't do a third one because it would
don't.
don't. No.
I don't want to be tortured.
But that was my night. Yes, the other night.
Woohoo! Woo! Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we're all coming off the 4th of July as well. You have seen The Purge.
I saw the first Purge because I didn't see the series, and this is the origin story, so I figured it would be okay to watch that first.
All right, so I have to ask this question because I have heard from my spies. I have not seen it yet because I have not had the time. I know we were all on vacation this week, but I haven't had the time because I've been working on 10 other projects. I have heard from my spies that the movie was not so subtle about certain political figures in this country who shall remain nameless.
Right. Nope. Wasn't subtle.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Wasn't subtle.
We're not going to make a statement for or against it. We're just going to throw it out there. If you support certain figure, you might not want to go see it. If you don't, you might want to. I don't know. But anyways, if you're a fan of the...
It's kind of scary to think that this could be a possibility.
Could be a possibility. The fact that it isn't yet actually shocks me more than the fact that it could happen.
Yeah. But I mean, so So basically, what this, should I say it?
Go ahead.
The basic story was, this was the origin story. So before they could make the purge nationwide, they had to test it, and they tested it out on Staten Island, and there was one group that was offering money to people to participate or to just stay home and barricade. Otherwise, everyone was requested to leave town because, you know, they expected it to be nasty. So those who participated were given lots of money, and they were given contact lenses to record what they were doing. So everybody was wearing, not everybody, but a lot of people wearing raver glowing contact lenses. It was really cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
So okay, so they all get contact lens. Can we do that now? Do we have special things we can do with the contact? I know we have glasses that you can record, like regular reading glasses you can record. So I gotta know. I'm not sure we're at the contact level recording device that's hooked to a network, you know, the internet for somebody to grab the feed. I don't think we're there yet. Well, we do have somebody who kickstarted Smart Shoes. Smart Shoes. This was over a year ago. Actually, it was over 2 years ago. They not only crowdfunded it, but they destroyed everything they needed. We have Smart Shoes now where they frickin' plug into the wall. You know what a battery life of a tennis shoe should be? Forever. Because there are no batteries. Come on, people. Yeah. Give me a break. I don't want Russians hacking into my frickin' shoes. But they might untie them in the improper time. But all seriousness aside, what would you do in a purge?
Oh my God. Well, after seeing the origin story, I'd get the hell out of town. I'm not staying.
I know that you're actively encouraged. You're not told to, but you're encouraged to kill people. I wouldn't do that. Yes, so all crime is legal for 12 hours, right?
Yes. Everything.
Screw you guys. I'm going to the bank. I need to make a withdrawal. That's what I would hit. I would hit like check cashing places, any places that doesn't have a fortified vault. Screw you. I'm going for the money.
Yeah, that'd be a smart thing to do because afterwards, you know.
Yeah.
Afterwards, you need to be set up.
I can't be, you know, arrested for it. So fuck it, go for it, man.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. But the government will want to keep tabs on you after that.
Yeah, I know. It's not like I wouldn't start my own terrorist organization. Oh yeah, I probably would. But
yeah, and
trust me, the 5 people from the NSA that listen to this show, they probably already know. So I'm not.
Well, what was interesting was that even though the crime, they were finding it fascinating that even though crime was legal for 12 hours, people were still putting masks on to hide their identity. Well, and I thought, you
don't want reprisal.
Yeah. See, that's what I was thinking too. Because if you kept your face open and did whatever crime, you would be targeted to be watched.
Yeah, exactly, and not by the government.
Right.
You kill
everyone else.
I mean, you kill the wrong person. Let's say you killed Joey Batz's, you know, son or Tommy the fireman's son. Mm-hmm. You're gonna have the mafia after you. I mean,
yeah.
So yeah, exactly. I get the hiding the face part because, again, you don't want... It's not government that I'm worried about. It's the other people that I'm worried about. Yes,
that you're outed as this asshole. And that's the other thing. The other part was this was televised. So whatever feeds they were getting, because they also had drones out doing camera, they also had people with these contact lenses getting feed. So they put it on live feed, and everybody was watching all across the country. So
if it was nationwide and you had a basement, would you just move everything to your basement?
Yeah.
That's probably what I would do. It's like, okay, Purge is coming up next week. Move everything to the fucking basement.
Yeah, and barricade that basement door so well because it's legal. That's the thing is that no place was safe. Everybody's homes, anybody could come in and fuck you up and take everything. They were saying it's my right to purge, and nothing was safe, nothing was sacred, and you would need to barricade very, very well. I mean, I would go practically put a tank in front of the door.
I would go drink raw milk at that point. We're gonna go sell raw milk. At this point, you know what would be the main thing of the big time American purge if we actually have one now? Kids would be selling lemonade on the street corners again.
Yeah. Remember those days?
Remember those days when you weren't having the cops called on you for having a freaking lemonade stand while you're black?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I do remember that.
Okay, that's as political as it's gonna get, kids. But but anyways, yeah, we've already wasted 10 minutes in this opening segment. All right, sweet. Anyway, we have interviews coming up. Like we said, David Fitzgerald is on the way, but we're debuting some music here today with KITTENHEAD is coming on EMZT Radio. I want to thank them for getting in touch with us on the tweeters. And of course, as always, as with all of our bands, you can find links to buying their music and their merch on the show notes. So let's get some KITTENHEAD going.
It's got a death curse!
EMZT Radio is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audio download and a free 30-day trial at audibletrial.com/EMZT. Over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player.
Hey everyone, this is Bowman Bob from Bowling with Bobcat. You can listen to me live every Monday night at 10 p.m. Eastern at sfdradio.com, where I'm bringing you the best of the worst in cheap booze, talking bum wine, beers, 40s, malt liquor, and more. Always featuring the latest and greatest in the world of drinking and entertainment, along with some special guests. So come on down and take a ride with Bumwine Bob. If you can't be there live, you can always listen in the archives at bumwinebob.com. So sit back, relax, grab a drink, and enjoy. Cheers.
sky is a tight, tight circle to heal the bondage of despair. Through these centuries I walk into this room and there you are. Timeless memories, reality both near and far. One of some station, the sparkling souls start to shake. Look into my starry heart and love will bloom. The rushing torrents sweep away this prison I've built. Opening floods feed the ravaged garden of my soul. Moisture softens scars, Jericho rose open. Through these centuries I walk into this room and there you are. Timeless memories, reality both near and far. Thought of sensation, the sparkling souls start to shake. Look into my starry heart and love will bloom. Will we have it all? Will I take this long? Can this be the start if I take that step? Will we have it all? Will I take this long? Love, 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 love.
You're going to Camp Blood, ain't you?
Hey Insaniacs, this is V from Creeping Beauty, and you are listening to EMZT Radio.
Hi everybody, Miss Starling here for Starling's All-American Lamb Chops. Have you thought about dinner tonight? I know I have. Usually, it's some cow, there's some chicken, and some pig roaming around somewhere. But have you thought about lamb? Lamb's all natural, it's all great. And plus, it ain't that bad for the environment like them nasty cows and them nasty pigs. Starling's All-American Lamb Chops, made right here in our farms in West Virginia. You can't get any better grass-fed lamb than what you see in the stores. Remember, it's got to have the name Starling written on it for it to be high quality. That's right, we only ship the highest quality lamb meat all around these great United States. God bless America. I sure do love it. That's Starling's All-American Lamb Chops. It's guaranteed to make you scream for more.
Welcome back to a new EMCT Radio Minis. I am your host, Boom Doom, and here with me is Auntie Bane. And we're going to do the creepypasta of 1x, 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 1x. Also known as 1 by 1 by 1 by 1, yeah.
Okay, tell us about that.
Alright, well, so the story behind the little boy that did this, there was a whole group. There was one named Machine, or Mission, Mish? I don't know. I don't remember his name. I don't know. 1X, yeah, the creepypasta we're dealing with. Well, technically the Roblox hacker, and was also Cool Kid, and some believe that the hacker was actually Charlotte Sky, but I don't think he would do that because he's a well-known admin in Roblox. So, and what happened was in 2012. Well, yeah, in 2012, 1X, and Team Cool and Cool Kid, and also Machine. Machine was actually banned. He was perm banned for a little while, got him unperm banned, and also gave him admin and Roblox. And there was this one face that was like, it had C and then the little creepy smiley face eyes. And so the person that got I don't know if 1X was friends with Stickmaster Luke, because the face that if you all played until 2012, there was this face that wasn't supposed to be in Roblox, and a bunch of other items that weren't supposed to be in Roblox. So he got it in his account. It was removed, and a bunch of people were getting like free Donimuses, like the Donimus Empress or whatever. That was getting like for free or like 1 Robux. Also, free Robux was being given out. So, but everything got back to normal, and they all got banned, perm banned. Like they got their accounts terminated, just like Noel. That was I think he was another hacker. I don't know. But yeah, they got there's no more 1X, but if you go into like, I think it's Pillow with a 1 fry, or whatever, I don't know, or an L. He has the people Machine and Cool Kid and 1X, but if you go on their profile page, it'll show this player does not exist, and with all the numbers and showing Builderman falling, or some Builderman. But yeah.
Okay. 1X was an account created by an admin called John Shedleski on May 25th, 2010. Primarily used for testing exploits such as RC7. Rumors about 1X has long been debunked. Many Robloxians continue to hold on to the belief that, like with John Doe and Jane Doe, it's owned by a hacker. Though the account is inactive due to its termination, many players speculated that he became active again after Roblox released updates to character customization, which further increased the fears that 1X is back and will hack everyone. Former administrator Mr. Doombringer verified that 1X is not a hacker and started as part of one of Roblox backstories created by Shedleski. Okay. The original 1X account was created in 2007. According to rumors, the account was deleted and the name was changed to Content Deleted, leaving the 1X username open to anyone. 1X is friends with the community and iHacks LV, just like John Doe and Jane Doe were due to an exploit regarding the Friends system, which was shortly patched after its discovery to prevent further problems. 1X's body tone changed to a red torso and white head and arms in mid-2017 due to a bug with avatars, and its torso turned white a short duration afterwards. Before that, it had a gray head and arms as well as dark green torso.
And also blue legs, I think. I forgot.
1X is iconic for wearing the roundy head, which has led to many fake hackers also using roundy as part of trolling outfits for hoax places such as the Blocks Watch HQ. And then there's this story that he was just a really good hacker until he met with John Doe. They couldn't hack each other. So it went on until they called a truce back in 2010, and they made a giant hacker group. And at the time, Cool Kid was the best hacker group. but they took over and made their group so big they chose a time to hack everyone on Roblox.
Which was 2012. But yeah, the 2012 hacking was technically like for Roblox 9/11 because it was really bad. It was really bad. Like usually when it says Roblox is shut down, it would say like you need milk with your cereal or stuff like that.
Okay, so what is the reason for 1X?
Well, I guess Shedletsky. I don't know how to say his name right. But I guess Shedletsky is not banned, so that obviously means he wasn't the one behind it. John Doe is long flippin' gone. But probably the main reason why it truly changed to red is because like sometimes you can hack into an account that hasn't been on for like a long time or it's terminated and you can change stuff with it, but you can't play on it or anything.
Okay. But it also says
also if you put your name as 1x1x1x, you quickly get terminated, or it'll say this is an inappropriate name.
Yeah.
But 2008 you could have put anything. Well, not anything, but yeah. Or 2007.
The hack in April 2012 was Roblox was DDoSed, DDoSed. Builders Club was made free, and Robux were given out for free.
Yep.
Not only that, some official Roblox items were set as free and new items were created. The notification banner was changed and several admins were hacked into.
Yeah, some of them also got terminated, but they got their account back from Roblox.
Yeah. It says he was recently spotted online as of July 8th, 2017, as his character was changed. There's much speculation as to whether he is actually coming back or not.
Cool Kid. I don't know if hey, you never know. Cool Kid was actually a pretty good hacker. And his group is actually still a thing, but you just can't join it anymore. And all the people that joined it were, if they showed that they were actual hackers, they got terminated.
So, what do you want to say about this? Because now it just seems like it's a Roblox creepypasta story that they spread.
Well, technically he's a myth now.
Okay, and what's a myth?
A Roblox myth is either it's I've seen a couple of Roblox myths before, but usually whenever something has like a long time ago, if you have had a story, if you create a story of like on Roblox, or if you have something to do with one of Roblox, like if you do something super big to Roblox, you might just become a myth. Or if he's technically not a myth in the myth hunters or myths.
No, because now he's just a creepypasta.
Yeah, but because probably Roblox is like, hey, or they'd be like inappropriate stuff. We'll have to ban you because that's them.
Okay.
But
anything else you want to say about this?
Never hack kids and eat your cereal with milk, or they'll come for your account and terminate it. Oh, the next creepypasta, Dedoy. Let's talk about Entity 404. That's a Minecraft thing. So, bye-bye. See you later. And remember, if you subscribe to Mr. Beast, you get a free cookie. So, bye-bye. And eat your cereal with milk. You better freaking do it.
And we'll be back right after this music break. It's EMZT Radio.
There's a
never come back again.
The show that puts the story back into history.
History is all about discovering the why, and I think that in that process it's important to never take the story out of history.
Making history come alive, one episode at a time.
But this is a podcast on the American Revolution for this series, and all about a free country, so do whatever the hell you want.
Visit theMondayAmerican.com to get more. Dive into the Monday American. Don't worry, we'll be gentle.
You love midnight movies, don't you? But can you handle midnight movies 24 hours a day?
Your death will be indescribable.
Find out on Black Flag TV. The first viral television on the web. Black Flag TV is entirely dedicated to haunting horror, science fiction, and cult movies. Broadcasting live 24 hours a day, obscure independent movies and classic horror. Make Black Flag TV your sanctuary for the horror genre.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Visit us now, blackflag.tv.
With me, I got the power of EMZT radio and horror on my side.
And we're back, and today we have with us David Fitzgerald from Dead Things. Welcome, David. Thank you for joining us today.
Hey, no problem. Thank you for having me.
Let's talk about Dead Things. Tell us about it.
Well, it started as a board game. About 5 years ago, we started building a board game. It's a cooperative board game. The idea is if one player dies, all the players lose.
Oh.
And so we got a publisher, and he started publishing it, and my partner Gary Rayner and I were talking about, what we should do next. And the idea was, well, everybody does a book. Let's do a zombie book on dead things.
Ooh.
And then I realized that everybody does a zombie book. Everybody. So I thought, well, let's do something else. And my background is in radio.
Oh,
and
okay.
I love radio drama and that kind of stuff. And I said, well, why don't we do some dead things, some stuff that follows the game. In other words, follows the characters, how they get to this spot. And we've done 14 episodes so far. And we call them seasons, but of course our seasons are like 4 episodes.
Right.
So, the fact that we've done 3 seasons, it's not like we've done like 60 episodes.
Right.
We've done 14. But we're going to do it. We're going to do another season later this year, and then we've got at least 3 more seasons that we could do already written.
That's amazing. And where can we find these episodes?
Why, thank you for asking. Deadthingsgame.com. That's where we have the audios parked. And we also have some information about the game. We do have some copies left. That was the thing that I was kind of worried about, that we would end up having like 4,000 copies of the game in my garage. Mm-hmm. And I don't have a garage that's that big. So I think we have 15 copies.
Wow.
And that's when those are gone, we'll have to consider a second printing. But right now, right now we're just gonna let's get the 3rd edition done. Let's get that out, and then we'll worry about a 4th edition.
How many copies of the game did you first print?
Our publisher did 400.
400. Wow,
yeah.
And you're down to 15.
Yeah, he was a really nice was sort of a prototyper. If you do gaming, you can actually go to some people who do a short run for you.
Mm-hmm.
And he did a short run, and then he looked at it and he says, I've never played this. Sat and we played the game, and he goes, I want to publish this.
Wow.
So he published it. He has moved on to other things now,
Mm-hmm.
and we wished each other goodwill. And he went his way, I went mine, and that's cool. So the idea is we're gonna run through the copies we have, and then we'll consider a 4th edition, probably more online.
Are you able to tell us a bit about the game? Like, what's the basic story?
Sure. Basically, in most zombie movies, people are trying to escape into a mall.
Mm-hmm.
And in our case, what's happening is we have people that are trying to escape from the mall. Okay. And the way the game works is it's very rules light. When I've run it at conventions, usually after the first turn, the people don't need me anymore. You're playing against the game system. You're playing against.
Huh.
The movement is the monsters, the zombies, is all determined by card. And as the game goes on, different areas start becoming spawn points for the zombies.
Oh, okay.
So you don't know when the turn ends. Normally if like I play chess and you're playing chess, you take a move and then I take a move.
Mm-hmm.
In Dead Things, we have a card deck that determines the move.
Wow.
So you may get 2 zombies moving in a row, and the end of the turn also ends differently. In other words, the turn may end after one person's taken their turn. Basically, the turn is by a card deck, mm-hmm. and in the card deck, there are the humans to move, and there are also cards that allow the zombies to respawn.
Okay.
And so what happens on the board? I didn't want to put any numbers on the board for like respawn points.
All right.
So what I did instead is I put pieces of trash.
Oh, how cute!
So if there's a piece of trash in it, that means during phase 1, zombies will spawn there. and then as you hit end of turn cards, as you hit end of turn cards, what it does is it kicks up into the next phase.
Okay. Okay.
And so what happens is eventually it moves out of phase 0, it moves to phase 1. So then the zombies start spawning in the squares where there's 1 piece of garbage. Then in phase 2, they start spawning in places where there's 1 and 2 pieces of garbage.
Okay.
So you will die if you stay still, if you try to turtle up, if you try to play like in Risk Australia, right?
Mm-hmm.
They'll eventually overwhelm you.
Right.
And what you're trying to do is you're trying to find gasoline or car keys. And on the board there's cars.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens is you take your character, you move up to the car, and when you move up to the car, we move it off to the side and see it says like whether it has keys in it or whether it has gas. No car has both.
Oh, okay.
And some of the cars have zombies in them.
Oh.
And the game system is very simple. That's what I was trying to do. I think it's in zombie movies, they're always fast. A good zombie movie is fast. Mm-hmm. And I play a lot of war games, but who wants to sit there and watch, and work on turns and look on charts? So we wanted a really quick game. So what happens is each of the characters has a special ability. Okay. And like, for example, the character Doris, you can see her, she's a cop.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And she can kill any 2 zombies within 2 squares of her.
Oh.
When her turn comes up, when the human's turn comes up, if there's a zombie within 2 squares of her, any 2 zombies within 2 squares of her are dead.
Nice.
Because remember, zombies don't hide.
No, they don't.
Clyde has a shotgun, so when it's his turn, any zombies within 3 squares in a line are destroyed.
Oh.
And one of the other characters, the name is Doris. She's a room broom. In other words, any zombies that are surrounding her on her turn are destroyed. So if there's 6 zombies around her, they're all gone.
Wow.
But remember, once again, if one human goes down, you all lose.
Okay.
Every character has a certain amount of luck points.
Okay.
And when you have no luck points left, when you get hit the next time, that's it. Game's over.
Oh. All right.
And what happens is when a zombie, they bite you, you take a luck point, and then the zombie is destroyed. Because in zombie movies, the minute a zombie bites you, you immediately kill it.
Yes.
The game is very quick. It has 6 scenarios in it, and I've sat there and played with people and watched other people who just picked up the game go through all 6 scenarios in about 2.5 hours.
Wow.
I mean, the game can literally go 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And if you all split up, it'll go actually shorter than that.
Wow.
Because the zombies will eventually, they'll eventually just catch you in. Now, all the characters from the game are in the audio.
Oh, okay.
So you find out, what Alonzo's doing in the mall. You find out what Becca's doing. And I'll give you a hint. She's there to pick up her laundry, okay? What Clyde is doing. Clyde is on his way to the bank to make a deposit. But he's taking a shotgun with him.
Right.
So that makes you kind of wonder just what kind of deposit is this, right? and so the characters are all different because one of the things that George Romero said in his very beginning is, zombies aren't interesting. It's the people that are interesting.
Yes, that's right.
Zombies are sort of like a natural disaster.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it could be giant ants instead of zombies. It's how the people react. So the audio series, it kind of gives you the background for the characters, and each one of them has an ulterior motive of what they're doing.
Right. Okay. Wow. So, okay. So, should we talk about the online game? Or the online version, or no?
This is the online version here, and primarily I'm using it to show people.
Right.
This is what the game looks like. It doesn't actually have an AI behind it.
Okay.
Eventually, I am going to make it available on Roll-D20 so anybody can play it.
Yeah.
But I'm just kind of shy about that.
Okay. Yeah, I understand.
It's like kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you just got to say, okay, fine, just go. Get off my hard drive, go. I'm not quite there yet. One of the things that I am doing while I'm working on that, do you remember the old Find the Path books?
The what?
Remember those? Do you ever play the Find the Path books when you're like in high school or something? It's you have a book and it says if you go down the door, go to page 3.
Oh,
yes.
The Choose Your Own Adventure books. Yeah.
Yeah,
yes,
Choose Your Own Adventure.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have a Dead Things Choose your own adventure. Nice. And it takes place on the night. We call it Dead Day. And it's basically what I'd like to do, if it's okay with you. I'd like to give a copy to everybody in your audience that would like a copy.
Oh my goodness.
All they have to do is send me an email, and I promise not to use their email for various purposes. Send me an email. My email is mfitzgerald@hotmail.com, and I will send them a PDF of Dead Day.
Oh, how wonderful!
Which is our Find the Path.
And you already got my email address.
I'll send you a copy. I'll send you a copy. Yeah.
Because that sounds great. So, where do you want to go from here with Dead Things?
Well, probably sometime early next year we have to go to 4th edition.
Okay.
The first edition was actually a freebie we had in a magazine called D Infinity. It was a nice little one-page type thing. The second edition was on Drive-Thru RPG, and it was kind of with generic counters and stuff. Basically, it was clip art. And the third edition, which is what I have now, I actually hired an artist. Her name is Amanda Call. She's really talented. She gives me really what I need. And actually, she gives me more than what I need when she draws her stuff. So the next version is the fourth edition. The fourth edition, we're going to more scenarios and also a character builder, so you can build your own character.
Oh. Give them what traits and options that you want for them. Nice.
Right. Yeah. So it's like right now, you're stuck with Becca, and she has her gun, which is great. But wouldn't you like to make a character, more luck or less luck or a better gun?
Mm-hmm.
So the idea is to sort of like come up with this engine where you can create the characters using a deck of cards to play.
Oh, that sounds so much fun. Okay, Matt, do you have any questions?
Oh, goody. Hi,
Your turn.
hi.
Hi, Matt.
Hi. So, so we have a fellow radio nerd on the show. So
yes,
awesome. I got to know, moving away from that just for a minute here on the radio end, how what kind of old time radio shows do you listen to?
There's a really good one. It's called Quiet Please.
Yes.
The only problem is when they were doing when they were going from record to tape, they didn't clean the needle.
Right.
Nope.
And if you've heard it, there's a ton of static. Sometimes it's unbearable to listen to.
So there's a lot of bad white noise. You're right. There's a lot of bad white noise in the background.
Yeah. It's very it's almost always first person.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And you almost always have an unreliable narrator.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
The guy telling you the story just murdered somebody, and you're listening to him. Oh, okay. And then you realize, oh, dude, this is the murderer. But I really liked them because they were kind of Twilight Zone-ish. It's not really well known, but it's really kind of hard to listen to.
It is. We used to when we had our old time radio block on. On the thing, that was actually one of the first ones I thought of to put on the block was Quiet Please, and then Suspense. I'm trying to think of what else we used to have. Oh God, what else was there? I can't remember right off the bat, but the CBS Radio Mystery.
Yes,
which is one of my all time favorites. But
that's what I was raised on.
Now. What do you work in the radio business?
No, actually, I don't. My degree in film. That's why I work as a trainer.
Okay.
I was in the film industry very, very short period of time at a very, very low end, and I did radio. I was an all-night disc jockey for a couple of years. At a couple of stations when I went to Los Angeles to go to film school. Nobody's going to hire a disc jockey from a small town. So I kind of bumped around and ended up training people. And a lot of the skills that I developed as a disc jockey kind of helped me when it comes to training.
Wow.
Now, when did you first think of this idea to come up with not just with a board game, really?
I don't know. Do you remember? There used to be a website out called Live Journal. I don't know if you ever remember that.
Yes.
Well, I was working. I was supposed to be working, but I was talking to Live Journal to like all my friends, and I said, wouldn't it be really kind of cool if we had like a board game that was for zombies, and it was relatively quick, and so I kind of wrote it. I kind of wrote it via Live Journal.
Nice.
And kept sending rules to my friends and stuff, and then I compiled them and I played it, and it was like the worst game I'd ever played in my life. and that taught me that Live Journal was not a game development engine.
No, not really.
No, and so there was a lot of trying to figure out, what's enough moves, what's not enough moves. The early games, the game played by it, with the characters occasionally doing things. You would play cards, and you basically were moving the pieces and you weren't getting to do anything. So we said, no, that's not working. And so we allowed the humans, when one human goes, they all go.
Right.
Because what was happening before is, Beck could go, and then she'd have to wait her next card, and it was just really slow and laborious. And so we said, okay, fine. When one character comes up, and all the humans go.
Mm-hmm.
And we used to make them go in order. They would go in alphabetical order because they're A, B, C, and D. Alonzo, Becca, Clyde, and Doris.
Oh.
And originally we would make them go in order, but it didn't add anything to the game, so we just chucked it out. It just let them go when they want to go. It's fine. It's not gonna ruin the balance of the game. Sometimes you have a little rule you create, and it's really a rule that you love. Mm-hmm. And then you realize it really has no use here, and just take it out.
Yeah. So, a little bit about the lore. Now, do you go into how your zombie apocalypse began, or is that something you've been working on? Or
I try to stay away from that, because good horror. If you've ever read Stephen King, if you've ever read Stephen King's Danse Macabre.
Yeah.
He talks about radio as an effective communicator for horror.
It is true.
Because if I tell you there's a slobbering monster just about to destroy the world, you see that monster.
Absolutely. We have a picture like that up in the station. As a matter of fact, the banana. I don't know if you've ever seen it or not, but it was. Some guy, he has a banana and it has 2 feet, and then underneath it says, "I saw it on the radio."
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. The theater of the mind, as we like to say.
Theater of the mind. So in details.
Yeah.
For things, like when you show the monster, the people just go, "Oh yeah, that's a guy in a suit. I've seen it."
Yeah.
And it's the same thing as if you explain it. If you say, "Okay, well, zombies came because this happened and this happened," and you've got someone in the back going, "Nah, I don't believe it. It doesn't work that way."
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So if you sort of say, "Okay, there are zombies, and we have an idea what may have happened. It could have been that comet that happened last night. It could have been that comet, because a comet did happen the night before. So, but we don't really know that. We don't know if that's what caused it. Is it some kind of weird radiation? We don't know. And I don't think it's important to know.
That's a good idea, because I remember that Night of the Living Dead. It's almost like it was a throwaway. I know there was a good long scene, but it was almost like a throwaway of the what was it, the satellite exploding and the radiation falling back to Earth, and that's what caused everything.
Right. It was the Venus probe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they talked about the Venus probe blowing up, and okay, that works.
Yeah, but you're right, and it was like a little just a throwaway part of the movie.
Right, and that's where I kind of wanted to be that way in Dead Things, and even in the radio episodes. These are just 4 people who live in a little tiny town.
Yeah.
They're not going to be able to call the CDC and say, "Dude, I got zombies in my backyard. What do you know about that?"
Right.
They're busy trying to keep the zombies out of their front door. They don't have time to call up their favorite, scientist and ask them, "Hey, virology speaking, if I get bit, what should I do?" You don't have time for that.
Just take a shot. That's all.
Yeah.
Now, are any of your zombies specials? Because I've noticed that a lot lately, especially in video games as well.
Yeah.
We play State of Decay on Mixer every Friday night now, and it's they have certain zombies are like the ones that hold a plague or can turn you faster. Do you have any zombies like that in the game, or?
In that case, I'm actually a traditionalist.
Okay, good.
I like my zombies slow. I can have a fast zombie occasionally, but I don't like zombies that turn into other things.
That's a good point.
I don't, and I have people who have zombies that turn into other things. Nothing against that. Not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
Or a cup of zombie, if you really want to look at it. there's much worse things in a world where society is broken down. There are worse than a two-headed zombie.
I would agree with that.
So I try to make it so that in listening to the episodes, that there are worse things than 100 zombies coming down the hall at you.
Yeah.
No, they're very bad. They're very bad, but there are other things that are, and that's one of the things in the audio series. We sort of kind of, for example, one of the main characters, Alonzo, is missing his grandmother, and his mom is going to kick him out of the house, and Becca can't find her husband or her son, and Clyde's seeing things that he shouldn't be able to see.
Oh.
But we resolve those as we go, and these are the zombies are a problem, but they have other things they also have to resolve in their lives.
Oh. Wow.
I mean, if you look at it, and let's use Walking Dead.
Mm-hmm.
All those characters, they have a lot of other problems. Zombies are just one of them.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
if it was a volcano, it'd still have those problems.
Right.
Although volcanoes seldom want to gnaw your face off, but
No, they just go straight for the cooking, so don't worry about that.
they do.
Oh, so is there any interest in maybe doing a full-on 30-minute audio type deal, another OTR? Because I've noticed that they really have started to come back a little bit, at least on the internet, in the mainstream. Because you got 13 Nocturne Boulevard. I think they do new ones.
Yes.
And stuff like that. And like I said, I've noticed that they come back. They always come back, of course. But I guess trying to make this the long way around to ask, is there any interest in maybe doing something like that? Maybe
I don't quite understand what you're saying.
something something on the line of A Quiet Please or something like that.
When I first started Dead Things, and I listened to a couple of other zombie shows out there,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize there were other zombie shows. And when we started with the Dead Things audio series, there are a couple of things we decided on. Number one, no music.
Okay.
If there's music in the background, that's okay. But no music to set the tone. In Quiet Things, I love the show, but you hear this piano music. Where the heck's that music coming from?
The organ music in the background. Yeah.
The organ music. So first of all, no music unless there's actual music, on the radio. And since I don't have the budget to be able to buy music, there's no music.
Oh.
Second thing, the characters, we don't hear their internal monologue.
Oh.
And that's, shows that do internal monologue are fine with me, but I want to make this more like a TV show.
Okay.
And it's very seldom in Walking Dead where Daryl will look into the mirror and say, I'm pretty good looking and dangerous. And it doesn't happen. And that's fine for shows that have it. But those are the two things we decided not to do.
Okay.
And of course, if you add, let's see, I think the average episode is about 7 minutes long. There's 14 of them, so that would be it's about 70 minutes right there.
Mm-hmm.
And in a lot of cases, we try to put it on a cliffhanger.
Oh yes.
Episode 1 and episode 2 are the only episodes that we didn't, because there was when we originally started writing this, it was going to be that we would change the stories every 2 or 3 episodes, and you'd have 2 people over here, then you'd go to another 2 people, then maybe another 2 people. But when we started after episode 2, we said, let's stick with the main characters. So episode 1 and 2 are talking about characters that will come back eventually.
Oh.
But that's episode 3 through 14 are Alonzo, Becca, Clyde, and Doris.
Okay.
Would I do a 30-minute episode? Sure. I'd be tickled to do a 30-minute episode. Right now, my producer's in California.
Okay.
And so I write the scripts. I send them to him. He tells me they suck and send them back, and I rewrite them and send them back.
That's what producers are supposed to do, kids. By the way,
right?
Yeah.
He also tells me, David, you can't spell. I say, okay, fine, spell differently. And then what he does is he has a stable of actors that are professional voiceover folks.
Okay.
And he actually does the recordings in his apartment. And then he puts them together, sends them to me, and says, what do you think? And I'm always tickled when he sends them because they're really good. My producer, Gary, does all the editing, and he does a really good job. I mean, where he got the sounds for a deep-fried zombie from, I don't know. But he has a deep-fried zombie.
Nice.
and then based on that, I almost never to say because he does a really good job, and then we put them up and away we go. So that's the story.
Well, good. You answered my other question I was going to ask. How is it put together? But we got it.
we actually did for I think 2016 we did a Halloween special.
I love Halloween specials.
Which I think is actually it's on YouTube. I don't know exactly where it is on YouTube. And it's the first I think 8 episodes. And we got some of the actors come in and talk about it.
Cool.
We didn't get to do it for 2017 because the universe was just misaligned. Whether we do it for 2018, I don't know. But that's where we're at right now.
Wow. I can't wait to listen to these. This looks just awesome. And I ordered the board game, so.
Oh, that was really nice of you. Thank you.
I just ordered the board game because I had an idea for a video. If I could get some group of people together, I could video us playing the game.
Okay, well, when you do get it, send me your address and I'll send you some extra standees.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Because we realized really quickly that people run out of standees. They run out of zombies really quick, and you the board looks really cool when you get a lot of zombies on it.
Yeah.
And so let me know, and I'll send you some extra zombies.
Okay, that sounds great. Because I was looking at the board game on your webpage, and I'm like, that would be. I want to try this game, and then if we could video it, me and a group of people playing it, it'd be. I think it'd be fun.
Well, if you want to, if you want to do the roll D20 version.
Oh.
I think it would be good because everybody can see it.
True. Yeah.
Because
record it that way.
I think that'd be kind of cool. If you guys want to do that, I'd be more than happy to do that.
Oh yes, that would be fun too. Hey Matt, do you think we can record from this? I don't know.
We can record. Yeah, we can record it. It's just live streaming that's been the pain in my ass lately.
Let me. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was going to say originally, we had plans on starting to live stream the show, and now we can't do it because my graphics card is not very happy when we go live stream. But recording is fine.
And he has the recording software, and I don't. So yeah.
Okay. Let me know when you want to do it. I'll set up a couple boards.
Okay.
And then we can play through. I mean, because we can probably go through a couple. Because usually what happens is on turn 3, everybody starts to not be afraid of zombies and they wander off.
Right.
And then they get killed real quick, and then we have to play another game.
Right. A co-op game.
But I can set it up. We used to play where everybody played their character, and we've sort of kind of taken it now to the point of it's sort of like the group character, sort of like Pandemic in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Where the group decide, okay, we're going to move Becca here. Okay, and we'll go Clyde here, but wait a sec, how many cards are left in that deck?
Right.
So yeah, I'd be more than happy to just reach out to me. That'd be cool.
Okay, Sweet. That sounds like a date. Yes. Game night date.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Well, Bane, you got anything else, or shall we just hand the floor off?
Other than, are you considering, is Dead Things the only thing you're working on, or do you have other ideas for other games, or any other projects?
I have other stuff, but I have a tendency of working on too many things. And I just, I gotta work on this. There's other things, but this has got to be front and center.
Okay. And then just let everybody shamelessly plug your stuff. Let's hear it. Where can people find you and the game?
You can find us deadthingsgame.com. You can find the audio episodes there, as well as the board game I've seen. And right now we're sending out extra zombies just to bring that number up to 40, which is a good board. Also, if you folks, any of your folks, email me at dmfitzgerald@hotmail.com. I will send you a PDF of the Dead Things Find a Path or Choose Your Own Adventure called Dead Day.
Oh, cool. I can't wait.
Thank you very much for having me on. I really appreciate it. I look forward to playing the game with you.
Oh, thank you. We're looking forward to this too. I mean, I'm looking at the map on Roll20, and I'm really excited to try it.
Cool. Thank you.
Jason, Mother is talking to you.
EMZT Radio is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/EMZT. Over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. For you, the listeners of EMZT Radio Podcast, Audible is offering a free audiobook download with a free 30-day trial to give you the opportunity to check out their service. That's audibletrial.com/EMZT.
Kim, can I speak to you for a minute?
Sure, what do you want, Sarge?
Well, there's only one building in the development left, and even if it's full of people, you can probably fit them all in your Humvee. I need to get back to the base before it gets dark.
Sure, I can do that. We haven't seen a zombie out here all day. Hell, make it 3 days and no bodies that can turn either. I should be able to do it in a minute or two and follow you in.
Well, that's not all of the favor. I want you to take Lauren.
What the fuck? You hate me or something?
I want you to walk her around a bit. She's green. She needs mentoring.
Hank!
It's Sergeant Murbury.
You gonna pull rank?
Yes, I am. Now get to it.
Yes, sir.
Almost done here. Where's everyone going?
They're heading back, and you're riding with me. But we gotta tag that house before we head back.
Let me finish.
Okay, you're done.
But
I said you're done.
Are we taking the Hummer?
It's half a block.
What about zombies?
None here. No dead to reanimate either. Come on, keep up.
This is a huge house.
Early American monster house, I think.
Maybe it's empty.
We gotta check. Go inside, look around, and then you can mark it empty.
Who is it?
United States Army, we're an extraction team. We're here to get you out.
Sorry, I was in the family room moving things around.
You didn't hear us calling people out of their houses or any of the ruckus we were making?
No, I'm sorry. I was busy in the basement. I was moving some old trophies.
Trophies?
Yeah. My family, we're avid trophy collectors, but, we didn't think the neighbors would approve they dropped in, so they've always been kept in the basement. But, since this seems to be the end of the world and all, I figured, hey, what's the harm?
How many of your family live with you?
None. Now, I'm alone.
What kind of trophies?
Lauren, this isn't the time for that, Mr.
Sands. More Sands.
Mr. Sands, we need to evacuate you. We're not going to take no for an answer.
Can I at least lock up? I mean, I am coming back, aren't I?
When this is all over, I'll drive you myself.
Well, let me get some things. It might take a while. Do you want to come in?
Okay, come on, Lauren.
Wow. You have a lot of stuff.
Thanks. My family are collectors. Always have been. You know, I was over in the study arranging the trophies. Do you want to see?
Maybe another time. Can we just get your things?
I'd like to see them.
Private? No.
All right. Well, just let me get a few things.
I don't like it in here. It's too crowded.
He has a lot of what looks like antiques.
Did you see which way he went?
Through that door.
Okay.
I want to take a peek at the trophies.
No, stay with me. I think he's coming back.
You know, I was thinking...
Oh, shit. He's got a gun!
You shot him! You shot him in his throat!
My gun! It went off. It was an accident.
You shot him twice.
You're right. It was on purpose.
Put the gun down. Or I'll shoot.
You won't. You can't. He was the strong one.
I'll shoot.
Oh, relax. It's just a hand. Let me get a good hold of you. You know, I can drag you into the sitting room.
Get help.
No, you've lost too much blood. It wasn't a clean shot. You're going to bleed out, my dear.
I'm cold.
There we are. Almost into the parlor. Oh, don't be afraid. They can't hurt you. You see that trophy over there? That's Rebecca. She was my first. I didn't do a good job on her. Oh, I was young, but you have to admit, the newer ones are much better. I'm pretty good with a needle and thread. You could say I'm an artist.
Oh, cold.
I know. It'll be quick. Just let it go. You know, I was contemplating getting rid of all these old trophies of my kills, but they bring back such good memories.
Oh.
This brave new world of ours has given me a better kind of trophy. Something that keeps a semblance of life. It moves and reacts, and you'll have to forgive me. I am really excited by this prospect. So, let me show you the place of honor that you will have. But first, if you will excuse me, I need to close the door behind us. My tools can get really noisy.
The Horror Gaming Report brought to you by ThatTechShop.com. Head over right now to ThatTechShop.com and type in the code EMZT at checkout for 20% off of all items for PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox.
Were you on the line late last night?
Yeah, just got off. The north perimeter is holding, but until we can get some tanks out there to scrape the undead away from the walls, it bears watching.
Did you write that up?
Yes, ma'am?
I know you're not going to like this, but before chow, I want you in the doctor's office.
Please tell me you're kidding.
I'm not, and I want you to do it.
I don't need a psychiatrist's evaluation.
Commander's orders. Look, what happened was horrible. You need to talk about it.
You worried about me? Maybe I'll do what Coulter's did? Open one of the gates and let a herd of those things in here? And just stand there like he did while they were eating them? Trust me, those things scare the crap out of me.
I want you to go now. It's an order. The door is over there.
You must be Sergeant Murbury?
Yes.
I'm Dr. Morris Sands.
Call me Hank.
I don't think we've talked before.
No, but I've seen you around. You're new.
Yes, one of the last groups that got in before the swarm hit the base.
You're lucky.
Yeah, but we're here to talk about you. Do you want to take some time? Maybe get something to eat? Take your weapon back to storage?
No. No, I never leave it out of reach.
I understand. Now, your commanding officer said you were involved in an incident?
Yeah, it was a couple of weeks ago. We were on a sweep. We found a small group of survivors, and we're bringing them in.
Out near Fiddler's Point, I believe.
Yes. So, we'd searched pretty much all of the buildings. I detailed 2 of my soldiers to check out the last house. It was a clear area. No signs of any zombies or corpses that could rise. I thought it was safe.
And?
Well, they didn't report in that night. I didn't think too much of it, because sometimes if soldiers need to, they'll just hunker down in their Humvees and wait for reinforcements. Next day, I drove back out there. Their vehicle was empty, so I investigated the house I sent them to clear. The house is like a mansion, just filled with all kinds of collectibles, and antiques and whatnot. Kind of looked like an artist's loft gone mad. I heard the sounds of thumping and scratching, which of course usually means that there's a zombie nearby. So I quickly pulled out my sidearm, like this.
Careful with the gun. You shouldn't have it drawn here in the compound.
I went in to sweep the study. Oh, God. It was like a scene out of hell. There were old dead corpses strung up on the wall. But the real horror was in the center of the room. In the center of the room were my 2 soldiers. Someone's broken their bodies and wired them together. And both of them were reanimated. They were swaying their heads back and forth. They're snapping and growling, that raspy breathing sound they make?
Yes.
Jesus, it was horrifying. Seeing them twisted together like that, connected by wire and broken bones. It looked like one of them had still been alive when she was connected to the other. But both of them were dead. Well, undead.
What did you do?
The only thing you can do to a zombie. Shot them both in the head.
I see.
And I pulled them apart from each other. After I was able to separate them, I bagged them and brought them back for burial. They're still down in the morgue.
Oh, it must have been horrible.
It was the sickest thing I've ever seen. And that's why I'm doing this.
Murbury, you awake?
Yep.
The lieutenant wants to talk to you when you're up.
Do you mind taking the cuffs off?
Nope. You're a killer.
I used to respect you, Murbury. I didn't think you would snap like that.
With all due respect, ma'am, I didn't snap.
Then why did you kill Dr. Sands in cold blood?
The guy was a psychotic prick. He's the one that murdered my 2 soldiers and left them twisted up like that.
How could you know that?
I pried their mangled bodies apart. I saw, up close, just what he had done to them. And the second he told me his name, I knew he was the one who butchered them.
How?
I looked at all the stuff in the house. It was art. He thought of himself as an artist, doing all that sick stuff to them. And like all artists, he signed his name to his work. Dr. Morris Sands.
You're doomed if you stay here. This place is cursed. Cursed. It's got a death curse.
Sinister Sisters.
Welcome to another Sinister Sisters. I am Bane Hellborn with my sister,
Scorpio Girl.
And we finally agreed on a subject to talk about.
Well, something I know something a little bit about, too. It's kind of hard trying to find something that I can banter with.
Yeah. Plus, we have personal history with this topic.
Yes.
Which screwed our lives for a while.
Yes.
And they've told me stories.
Yeah.
Little boom doom.
So, today we're going to be talking about Ouija boards.
Ouija.
We've got history, we've got facts, and I've got movies to back it all up too.
And, most importantly, do's and don'ts, motherfuckers.
Oh yeah, do's and don'ts, we're adding that too. So you people who want to play with this shit willy-nilly, no.
Because we're about education over here.
Yeah, because we already did all the don'ts.
And we've got the stories to back it up.
And we got stories. So, okay, so let's start with some history on the Ouija board.
Okay, so I can start this off. Pittsburgh toy and novelty shop called Danziger's and Company first advertised the wonderful talking board and described it as, without a doubt, the most interesting, remarkable, and mysterious production of the 19th century. And this was according to a newspaper from the time. And on top of it, how it actually got patented was the patent officer told the 2 creators that if the board could tell to spell out his name, that he would patent it right then and there. Mm-hmm. And apparently the 2 creators did not know his name, so they got to getting going, and the board gave the patent officer his name, and the patent officer was like, yeah, we'll patent it as a toy or a game or something like that.
Yeah, game, yeah.
And on top of it, what people don't know is the board named itself. When the creators were asking the board what it would like to be called, it spelled out Ouija, which, I was always believed on the fact that it was, French and German for yes. No, according to the board itself, it wanted to be named Ouija because what that means is good luck.
Oh.
For whom the bell tolls for, I have no clue.
For the people that are going to play and be idiots and then get possessed and all die in, like the documentaries. Bye-bye.
Nice summary. So that was a good one. Another fact is that in the 80s, the board was actually marketed as a dating game. The instructions mentioned of, a lady and gentleman preferred was done to entice couples to purchase the board so they can cozy up and ask questions together and just, dabble in the spirit world together and, have a horrible experience. Horrible experiences bring people closer together. Yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
It was used, the Ouija board was also used to outsell Monopoly, because in 1922, pretty much every household had a Ouija board stashed away for what they believed at the time was just some lighthearted fun. So much so that by the time Parker Brothers purchased the board's rights in 1967, it outsold perhaps the most popular American game, Monopoly. In 1973, the film The Exorcist infamously centers on the plot of a young girl being possessed by evil while playing the game. The performance was apparently quite convincing, since sales of the game suddenly went downhill real fast.
They bottomed out.
They bottomed out because of that. Yeah. Oh, another historical fact is that the game was actually featured on an episode of I Love Lucy. Apparently, in a season 1 episode, Lucy becomes interested in horoscopes and numerology. After accidentally tanking a business deal for Ricky, she, Ethel, and Fred go along with one of her wacky schemes to convince the businessman, Mr. Merriweather, that he has made contact with the other side. They ended up confused when they assumed he was attempting to contact Mrs. Merriweather, but it turned out he was actually looking to converse with his beloved pet dog, Tilly. I thought that was interesting. Another fun historical fact is this board has actually been tested and studied by scientists. So there's real science behind it, known as the ideomotor effect, or automatic writing. The subconscious of those playing the game will shift the planchette towards answers to their questions without even realizing it. So on top of it, psychologists have studied it as well. Researchers had done on the game over years, but the recent studies from University of British Columbia's Visual Cognition Lab specifically focused on how the board revealed layers of conscious and subconscious thoughts. So in one case, they asked participants a series of yes or no questions, both verbally on their own and then non-verbally through the board. And the results were pretty surprising. They answered about 50% of the questions correctly on their own, but when they believed a higher power was guiding them through the board, the stats jumped to 65%.
Wow.
So that's over 50%.
I meant, why, we're in the age of robots. They should, try something where they make fake hands that are robots and try and see if they actually move by themselves. And they have some, I don't know, not a heating thing, but a sensor if they're moving it, but they're robots, so they're lifeless. So it'd be wow, it's actually true and real.
Yeah, but you're mixing too many genres, horror and robotics. AI.
Horror,
sci-fi.
could
you imagine
horror, sci-fi
AI? Hey, let's get out the Ouija board and talk to dead human spirits.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Can you hear me now? Are you here?
Would you like to talk with us? Actually, another historical fact is Mary Todd Lincoln, Abraham's wife, was known for being particularly interested in spiritualism. So she would often consult her own talking board with questions about their son who passed away at a very young age. So that's quite interesting. And another bittersweet, and I don't know if the creator was good with this or not, but Elijah Bond was buried in an unmarked grave, but Ouija historian Robert Murch tracked down his remains in Baltimore back in 2007 and finally gave the game's inventor a proper burial, which included a replica of the board. Wow. Yeah. So those are some historical facts about the lighthearted fun game called Ouija.
And in the early 1900s was when all this started, because that was the spiritualism time.
Well, yeah, I mean, just think about it. I wonder, like, what I haven't been able to find is what was the basis of Elijah creating this board? Like, was he just trying to, catch that money train of spiritualism? Because at that time, there were a lot of fakery going on, as well with seances and stuff.
Well, yeah, because people had a shorter lifespan then. They were supposedly, by 50 years old, people were dropping dead. So the families were wanting to contact them, and these mediums or spiritualists would say they could. And that's how most of it started.
But I'm going to have to say we're going to share some, private experiences. But I'll have to say, like, I don't know how this could be, like, my own subconscious with some of the answers that we got. I mean, they were kind of spot on. And some of the stories were pretty damn believable from the spirits we were talking to. I mean... Just wish we knew the do's and don'ts before all that crap.
We never had the do's and don'ts.
We didn't. Well, we didn't have Google back then either. So I mean,
and we weren't allowed in that kind of section, the occult section.
What do you mean?
Of the library. Okay, so I was looking. I found something that was mentioning Elijah Bond.
Oh, you were saying apparently the board actually helped them with more ideas about the board itself. Didn't you say something about...
Yeah, that Charles Kennard from Kennard Novelty Company, Elijah Bond, Miss Peters... Oh, Miss Peters is Elijah Bond's sister-in-law. That's what it was. Remarked that we had not yet settled upon a name, and as the board had helped us in other ways, we would ask it to propose one. It spelled out Ouija. When I asked the meaning of the word, it said good luck. Miss Peters thereupon drew a chain from around her neck, which had a locket at the end of it, and on it was a figure of a woman, and on the top the word Ouija. We asked her if she had thought of the name. She said she had not. So they adopted the word.
So basically...
And the only people that were there was
Kennard.
Elijah Bond,
Kennard,
Miss Peters,
the sister-in-law. Wasn't it someone's son?
And... Elijah's son, yes.
So, okay, subconsciously, but then they asked the board, what does Ouija mean?
And it says good
luck.
And
the board says good luck. Now,
unless that was like, good luck with that!
See, I was just going to take that sarcastic route, as I love to take that route many times. That kind of sounds like a spirit being an asshole. Good luck figuring that one out, dumbass.
Yeah.
We read it off your necklace.
Yeah.
Good luck. Does it look like I speak that language? Good luck, fuckers.
Yeah. And
but I was gonna expel upon. So apparently, with that comment, they had been using the board, of course, because
it had helped them in other ways, so they had been using it.
And the thing is this board is there's many versions before it. I think dating back to 1100 AD BC.
Oh yeah, it's been in wide
1100
use.
BC is like the first documents of the Ouija. Although it wasn't called Ouija, it was called Fuchi. F-U space C-H-I.
Okay.
Fuchi. And that was more elaborate, of course. But I'm wondering, with the Elijah Bond's version, obviously they were using it. So you're thinking about, what, 1890s?
1890s, yeah.
So, hopefully my historical facts are all right. I'm drinking a little drink right now called Chardonnay. Because it's never nay, people. It's never nay.
Yeah.
But wasn't that time around, like, the Civil War?
Wasn't it after?
Well, I mean, okay. So people were really, back then, really concerned with talking to, loved ones.
Because they had shorter lifespans.
Well, not just that. I mean, a lot of people died at that.
That was another point, was that they had shorter lifespans, so they want to know from loved ones what's over on the other side.
You know, and that's one thing that we wrestled, I wrestled about doing a podcast on, was about afterlife. Because there's one thing is that no one still to this day, you know,
knows what's on the other side.
Well, I mean, there has been research done on the, I don't want to get into this. Yeah, we'll just stop here because that definitely. But yeah, we'll do that for another later day. Afterlife, the next podcast.
Yeah, it's just death is such a mystery. That's why people were highly into this, wanting to know the mystery of what's after when we die. And also before the 1900s and also during the early 1900s, that's when there was a lot of fakes that were preying on people.
See, and that's what I'm thinking. It's hard to, get that definitive answer. Was this part of, here is an actual something to help people, or hey, look, there's this money train going that way? But how were they to know that this was going to be so flippin' popular?
Did they ask the board?
You know what? With that comment about the board asking...
Good luck!
I know, but I mean, in that comment by Mr. Kennard, by Mr. Kennard, apparently they asked the board, and the board helped him out in other ways.
Yeah.
So, obviously, there's some juice to it.
But then... also could have been earlier when you were talking about how people subconsciously move to the answers.
See, and that's it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard because as someone who has personal experiences, it's hard to think like, I didn't imagine the stuff that happened after we played it.
No.
Like, that stuff really happened, and it wasn't just me.
Yeah.
It's shared memories of you and our friends. We all have this shared memory of horrible things that happened.
That we caused. We caused a lot of it, too.
Yeah.
Number 1, playing Ouija board on a fresh grave in the cemetery.
Yeah, people, I can highly... Please don't. Like, that was... Okay, we're going to jump around a bit. We have to share this story because I think that was one of several times that I was scared, like literally shit my pants scared.
Because then something happened when we were trying to run away and go to the truck. There was stuff going on when we were getting to the truck.
Okay, but but you know what? We didn't even get to the part to play it.
No, we did. It was just really heavy. There was heavy pressure on our hands.
But when we first put the board on our friend's grave, didn't the planchette like fly like 5-8 feet off the board? Didn't it just like go shoot off? That's what scared the piss out of me, and that's where I didn't stick around. I ran when that happened.
I think that was after when we were about to leave.
No, that was the very first time I remember you put the board on the grave, and then I can't remember who put the planchette on the board. And I remember looking at the board there on the grave, and that planchette flew like 5 to 8 feet off the board, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, this is really not a good... I remember running.
And then actually trying to talk to that person in the grave, it felt there was tremendous heavy pressure, like your hands were held down with a giant boulder.
Yeah, I didn't touch it.
And I got the definite sense that this person just woke up. That's what it felt like. So you're trying to ask somebody who just woke up from sleeping stupid questions like we were asking. What's it like being dead? Oh my God,
stupid.
What's it like being dead? And they're like, go away.
Right? But I do remember running to the truck.
Yeah. And stuff, there was noises.
There was
noises that hit the truck. The truck was banged on.
Yeah. But I remember jumping in the back of the truck, and it had a covered camper shell on it. And I remember getting in there, and I'm banging on the door, go, go, go. But I don't you remember that the lights went on, and the radio was doing that, wah, 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 wah,
yeah, the radio was playing
wah,
on its
wah,
own.
Wah, wah.
Yeah.
And the lights were flashing.
Yeah.
I don't even know if you had the keys in the truck at that time. Because we were such in a rush to get the fuck out of it.
I didn't get to turn it, but yeah, I had the keys in, but I didn't turn it on.
But she didn't turn it on. Yeah. Oh my God. Oh my God.
So I'm trying to start the truck while she's in the back screaming bloody murder and at the top of her lungs. And our cemetery is in a residential area.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what time was this? Definitely 1 o'clock? Midnight, 1 o'clock?
We were not that stupid. It was like dusk.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Because I could have sworn it
because
was later.
it was the only way that I was not going to go to the fucking cemetery at midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, as is. My stipulation is it still had to be daylight. So
but it wasn't. It was dark.
No, it was dusk. It wasn't
Okay.
dark.
Okay.
There was no way you were getting my flipping ass out there. You freaking kidding me? Do you know me?
Well, you went.
Yeah, but that was because it was still kind of light out.
But when we left, it was dark.
Yeah, that's a strange thing, because I don't think we were there that long.
We
And all of a
weren't.
sudden, I'm looking around, I'm like, where the flip did the sun
actually,
go?
might have been, because that's where a time lapse happened. Remember, we were talking about a time lapse.
Yeah, because that's the thing that I'm saying, because it was still kind of sun out. There was still sun when we were there, but by the time we got to the truck, I remember looking around in a panic, mind you, shitting my pants and screaming like a banshee.
Yeah, we lost some time being there.
It was so dark
because we thought we were there maybe 30 minutes, but it turned out to be almost an hour. It was almost an hour.
It was
because we lost time.
I'm not even kidding. It was. But I think, wasn't that our first ever experience, though, of doing the Ouija board?
No, we took it down to the docks.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
We also took it down to the docks.
Yeah, we were freaking stupid.
We were stupid.
So stupid. So flippin'. Okay, one of the spirits we contacted was good old Dr. Earsey. Oh my God, he was so believable.
Yeah.
So believable. The stuff that he told us. Because apparently he said he was the original mortician in our hometown.
In our town.
And that he told us he died in a fire.
Yep.
And there was rope involved. So we naturally assumed he was tied up.
Or he hung himself.
I went to the end that he was tied up. But, back... I mean, our town was, founded in 1964. So...
Yeah. Shit happens.
No, there's not that much time lapse. Because we're talking about, the late 80s, early 90s? Early 90s? 90s?
90s, yeah, 90s.
90s we were doing this.
90s.
So there wasn't that big of a time lapse, and I don't ever recall, a horror... I don't know. Anyway, small town dramas. But, Dr. Earsey, he was the lasting impression because I do believe he was the one that attacked me.
Probably.
And that's why I will never touch a Ouija board again, is because I know that it was a direct... Because we've been messing around with that board.
We were messing with it.
And
we never took it seriously.
We didn't take it seriously. It scared the shit out of me, but I always took solace in... It's
just a game.
It's just a game.
That's all she kept saying. It's just a game. It's not real. I'm
but
like,
I did get attacked. I did get attacked. And, yeah, Dr. Earsey was not nice that time. But I wasn't alone when I was attacked. You were in the house.
Mm-hmm.
My parents were in the house.
Mm-hmm.
So they witnessed... They witnessed it. I was full on being picked up and thrown and, clawing at the linoleum to try and hold on to not being dragged and got thrown into my parents' bedroom. I remember get smack in the door and I remember coming to and my mom smacking my face and she's like, all I remember her saying is, you look like you were in a trance. You look like you were in a trance. You look like you were in a trance. But did we ever tell her?
No.
That we were playing the freaking...
No,
but
she freaked.
But it all started... Here's how it all started. I was laying in bed, and all of a sudden I started hearing banging in my closet, but it was rhythmic. It was bum from left, and then to right, bum, and then from left to right, bum. And I remember putting the blanket over my head, and everything went quiet. And as soon as I pulled the blanket down, this dark figure came... bending over me and smiled, and I don't know, with shadowing and things like that, but its smile went from ear to ear. And I got up, I ran for the door, I turned the knob, I opened the door, it slammed out of my hand, I opened it again, it slammed out of my hand, I opened it a third time, but it opened with me really hard and ended up hitting me in the nose and the head.
Yeah.
And then I tried to run out of the room, but it literally felt like something picked me up and then threw me in the kitchen. And then as I'm trying to scramble to get up, I remember trying to dig my nails into the linoleum because it felt like I was being dragged up and then picked up and then thrown again.
Mm-hmm.
And it threw me all the way from my room to the kitchen to the living room to my parents' room.
Yeah, because I was in the living room when I saw her come flying from the kitchen to the living room.
Yeah. It was... And of course it attacked me because I was the most scared. I
freaked out.
So of course I was more susceptible to... And we always had problems with spirits in the house at that time anyways, way before we even touched a Ouija board. So I don't know if we just pissed off and brought home a new fucker.
Yeah, because it got worse from there.
Yeah, because as children we had experiences in that same house.
Yeah.
Way before the Ouija board, but this one was nasty.
After we messed with the Ouija board, it got worse.
But
our parents were oblivious to it.
Yeah.
They had no idea.
Yeah, but the stuff that was happening beforehand, they always laughed it off as, oh, you were sleepwalking, or,
Yeah.
They didn't want to believe it.
Yeah.
At all. But stuff did happen to us.
Yes.
Like horrible stuff happened to us as kids.
There's tons of it.
But that's
years. And it followed us for years, even after we stopped.
Yeah.
After we stopped.
Yeah, it did.
And what happened was I had that board in the trunk of one of my cars. And Mom grabbed it and burned it, she said.
I believe it. Our mom was super religious.
Yeah. So she burned
religious.
it. But that's apparently on one of the rules of not to
do.
Yeah.
Not to do. But she was super religious. But the thing is we found out that, because I was always suspect of how Bible-thumping religious she was, until one time rummaging around in her closet, we find tarot cards, mythology books.
All these occult books.
So I'm wondering if what happened to her was kind of like something that happened to us, and why she turned hyper-religious. Like, she never used to...
Yeah.
You can't go from
Party
tarot
girl.
cards and... You can't
Party girl. She was a party girl.
She was.
When she was younger, she was party girl.
So just it was curious how we find that stuff in her room to her being hyper-religious. So obviously something had to have happened. It just didn't turn us hyper-religious.
But she wouldn't tell us.
No.
She wouldn't tell us.
But now, after the experiences that I had with the Ouija board. Oh, and another thing that really freaked me out was one session we did at your apartment, and the board kept printing out or spelling out mommy, 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 mom over and over again, like over and over again. And I wasn't playing. I was not going to play the board.
No, you didn't touch it.
But I was still in the room, and so I asked the question, who's mommy? I remember it said, one in all black.
Which one was that?
That was me. And
Oh.
I freaked.
Oh.
I freaked out because fast forward, 10, 12 years later, I was in my apartment in another state. This is 10, 12 years later. And I get a phone call, and on the phone is a little kid, mommy, 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 help us, mommy, 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 help us. And it freaked me out.
Wow.
It freaked me out, but I my mind flashed back to that one session with the Ouija board. And I'm like, what? What do I do? What can I do? What can I do? But, after learning about these do's and don'ts and how spirits, because, ultimately what I know about ghosts and spirits is they do lie. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
They lie.
Ouija Witch Board was the first Ouija board movie that we saw back in 86.
That was the first
Well, I think we
Ouija
saw it 86, 87.
Yeah. The first one I ever watched.
But that was where it started with the rules, and also background about careful doing this because spirits tend to lie and they're lousy spellers, and on and on and on.
But see, that's the thing. Wasn't it this movie that really got us into it, though?
Yes, it helped solidify our curiosity evermore.
That was a good movie, though.
That's a classic movie.
I can't tell you how many times we watched that movie. Didn't you own it at one point in time?
Yeah. I had
on
it.
VHS?
Well, on VHS. Yeah, I bought it from the video store.
The local video store.
Yeah. So, and in there's a woman that gets introduced to the Ouija, and she immediately screws up, playing it alone to start off.
Yes.
Playing it alone, and thinking she's talking to one spirit when she's not. So,
and yeah. Oh,
yeah.
So do's and don'ts, or are we doing
Yeah.
more movies?
Do's and don'ts. Well, I'm going to throw in movies too, but go ahead. Do's and don'ts. I got a list, and then there's another list. So there's the one major rule of using a Ouija board is never, ever use it alone, because number one, you are vulnerable.
Yes.
You have no protection unless you totally set this up in a circle and candles, and you do a prayer of protection.
And you prime the planchette if you're going to use a glass.
Yes. But you cannot use a Ouija alone. Never, ever, ever use it alone.
It's just because you are so susceptible into believing, and there's not that other person to
say, hey, stop it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you always need that balance.
But the best way to use one is you need to have more than one other person, like the best results. I mean, we got the best results with 6 people.
Because of the energy factor, I think.
Yeah.
I really think the energy factor helps. And with that many people.
But then that also can be the problem.
Not really, because you're looking at the energy. Of course, obviously, spirits use energy to manifest what they need to manifest. But you also have that percentage of skeptics that kind of level out the playing field.
Yeah. And also, this one I didn't know about. Never use a Ouija board if you're depressed, stressed, pissed off, upset, bored, furious, sad, afraid. Like, if you're too scared to play it, don't fucking play it. Overconfident. That's what we were doing. We were overconfident. We were cocky as fuck.
You guys were cocky as fuck. I was scared as hell.
Or drowsy. Or playing it while you're sleeping.
Well, yeah, I mean, those are all markers for able to get in.
Yeah, these are ways to let demons in.
And evil spirits.
Yes. And if you do get a demon, blessing the house, taking all the steps to bless and cleanse, doesn't work. Well, it says it'll make it worse. But if you do have a demon, you need some serious cleansing, which means you will need a real priest or one of the stronger witchy people to help you out.
Basically, yeah, it's banning a spirit. I mean, that's something you have to be very...
Yeah. Oh, don't give the Ouija board to someone else to give them problems. Like, pass your problems on to someone else.
Oh, that'd be a good movie.
I think it has been.
Right?
Yeah, so if you're having trouble with your board, the way to get... And you think giving it to someone else will take that problem away? Nope.
No, because spirits can't be attached to you.
It'll...
Regardless.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that is passing on the problem.
But it will also give them problems, too, because it's already...
It's a tainted board. Mm-hmm. It's already a tainted board.
This one I didn't know about. Never let spirits count down through numbers or go through the alphabet, as they can get out of the board this way. I did not know that.
You know what? And I remember a couple of
because there was a time when we saw that thing count down.
Yeah, it would, and it always start from 9, 8, 7.
We're like, stop. It gets
and then all of a sudden it would stop counting down, and then it'd go to A, B, C.
Stop!
but we didn't know why.
Yeah, we didn't know
it
what
would
that
freak
was.
us. It'd just be freaky. We didn't know that this was something trying to get out.
Yeah, and we kept saying stop and no way, and then it would stop doing that.
But
plus we stopped using.
But I didn't know that was because something was trying to get out.
Yeah, we did not know that. This was not available to us.
I mean, I will have to say, as far as physical, I remember around the first times of playing it too, how much my hands would swell.
Yes.
I mean, the swelling was horrible in the beginning.
Because it would hurt.
Yeah, it would hurt to bend your fingers.
It would hurt to bend your fingers, like
And they were so fat.
Yeah.
And it was just at the fingers and the hand at the wrist. It like stopped at the wrist, because I remember the first time being like, oh my God, my hands hurt. And then being able to look in the light and be like, oh my God, my hands are huge.
Yeah, it looks like you picked up a virus that you're bloated now.
Yeah, so what is that? What is that?
Yeah, I don't know. Something getting under your skin. That'd be scary.
Literally.
this I've never seen happen. I don't think we have this happen. If the planchette goes to the four corners of the board, it implies you've reached a evil spirit.
That's interesting. I've
never seen that happen.
The other one, though, tell me about the other one.
Which one?
The figure 8.
Oh, the figure 8. That's the weird part. So,
apparently the figure 8.
Oh, here it is. In the event that the planchette over and over makes a figure 8, it implies that a wicked soul is in control of the board.
See, and the one experience I remember at doing that at figure 8 over and over again was before we started talking to Dr. Earsey.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden here comes Dr. Earsey.
Yeah, but it never did it again.
And by the way, that's the name he gave us, Dr. Earsey.
That's what he said. And in Witchboard, the movie, the guy
was doing the figure 8
used
to start it.
Used the figure 8 as a signal that he was contacting his good spirit friend.
What if he knew all this time he was trying to signal for his evil spirit, which is who she was ultimately talking to?
Well, it didn't matter at that point because he ends up dying. So
that's true. That's true.
But what's another one? Oh, never utilize a Ouija board in the event that you're a doubter or an atheist, as you could get a wicked soul or devil. Because being
open-minded.
No, a doubter. Being a doubter, like a pessimist, a doubter, atheist, not believing in a religion or deity or anything.
Right.
This will make things try to break you down.
Yeah, but if you already don't believe in religion...
Yeah.
See, this is where I don't understand the religious aspect. This is what gets me about what difference does it make believing in a god or not? Oh, is it the fact that if you believe in like a god...
It's the faith.
Oh, having a faith?
The faith. Having a faith in a religion.
Yeah, but some say being atheist is a faith.
Technically it is.
So that's why I don't understand.
That they're being a doubter.
I think being a doubter opens you more up to being an asshole.
Yeah.
Disrespectful to the spirits, I guess, and so provoking.
Well, that's where it is, because they're going to provoke.
Challenging.
They're going to challenge and provoke these spirits, and the spirits are going to be like, "Oh, fuck with me! I'm going to fuck with you!"
Right?
Yeah. This I've never seen this either. If the planchette tumbles from the Ouija board, a soul will get detached.
So basically,
if the planchette falls to the floor from the board, spirit got out.
Well, think about it. If the spirit is using the planchette to communicate through the board, falling off that board and breaking the link, I'm just grasping at straws.
Or just came through. It's coming from the board, from your energy.
Yeah, it's using you.
So, and then this one, if you get a wicked soul, rapidly flip around the planchette and utilize it in that way.
Upside down.
Upside down.
I don't know what that means. Why would that be a...
Because the planchette is the doorway.
Yeah, so if you flip it upside down, is that like what? Closing the window, but you could still look in and out?
Right. Something
That's so freaking hilarious. That to me is like stretching.
Yeah. Oh, the board must be closed. See, we tried this, and sometimes it wouldn't work. The board must be closed,
and that's saying goodbye, but they have to say goodbye.
They have to say goodbye as well.
I do,
and it didn't happen a lot.
But I do remember a couple of times we forced goodbye.
Yeah,
where we would say goodbye, and then when they would go to no or try to talk more, we'd force it into the goodbye.
We'd force the planchette to goodbye.
But does that count?
Does that count? I don't know. Maybe not.
But I remember a couple of times of forcing it goodbye.
Yeah. So it says if the board is not closed, opportunity or evil spirits will remain behind to haunt the operator. Yeah.
I kind of believe it, because it's kind of like not really hanging up the phone.
Yeah, not really hanging up the phone or closing that door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which after the fact, believing it now, because the only time we had the horrible experiences with the paranormal was during using the board. Mm-hmm. I mean, horrible spirit activity was happening.
Oh, yeah.
And it wasn't anything... It was mostly to scare, but I think the last of it was getting attacked. Because that time I was
Well, because
what was I, 16,
they
17?
build up the scares enough that you give them enough energy that they can physically get you.
Well, it worked, but I think the last
Especially
big
you,
hurrah,
little screamer.
But I think wasn't that last big hurrah me getting attacked?
Yes,
because we stopped playing it by then.
Yeah, and it was in the trunk of my car for the longest time until Mom found it.
But I'm just saying that was.
I think I carried it in my trunk of my car for a
You
couple
are
of years.
fucking stupid. If I knew this,
I think it had it for a couple of years because we stopped playing with it and nobody ever talked about it. So that was
because although me getting attacked was the last of the evil paranoia that happened to us, didn't we actually stop playing with it when? Who was that? Do you remember that spirit's name? The one where we heard a door slam. A wind came through and blew out all our candles. Your skull knocked over, but didn't he tell us he was going to come at 5 a.m.?
He said he was Satan.
Yeah, well, like Satan would.
It said it was Satan.
I know it.
And that was when we saw the cushion on my chair.
Depress?
Yeah.
Or what do you call that? What's that word?
I'd say go down. Go down.
Compress?
Compress like somebody was sitting in it.
No, seriously, yeah. I mean, and it was weird how we all looked at the same time at the cushion.
Because
and
we were
watched it.
who is this? And it spelled out Satan.
But I don't believe it was the actual Satan because seriously, that dude's got more things in his basket than to deal with a couple of teenagers. But it was weird because
not just a couple. There was 5 of us.
But I do remember it telling us that it was going to come and visit us at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
And we were like, no. And wasn't that when we heard the door slam?
Mm-hmm.
But we never found out where that door was that slammed. But it was a definite door slam.
It was a door. Mm-hmm.
The lights kind of did a weird flickery thing.
Mm-hmm.
A wind came in and blew out all the candles.
We had a huge circle of candles.
And this wind out of nowhere.
Yeah, the windows weren't open either.
Yeah, and just came in and blew out all the candles. And I think that's when we all looked in the same direction.
Mm-hmm.
And that cushion just
depressed.
It depressed.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I shit my pants then too.
I know I screamed. I remember you screaming very loudly, and I was trying to flip on the lights, and I moved everything out of alignment.
Yeah,
we put the board away. So.
But I think that was the ultimate last time.
But we didn't say goodbye to that.
Well, fuck, we were scared shitless.
I know. All right. Okay, never utilize the Ouija when you're ill or in a debilitated condition because it'll make you vulnerable.
For possession.
The spirit of the Ouija board creates winds, like lucky winds, for the utilizer, causing him to become more and more dependent on the board. This is called progressive entrapment. Okay, now that's also part of Witchboard, where he talked about progressive entrapment, how the spirit is nice at first. It's helpful.
Yep.
It tells you things. It helps you find things. It's just so sweet and nice. And then it turns mean.
But see, I don't ever remember us ever asking the board for certain things. I think we were mostly like interested in who are you, what's your story, how did you die, what year was it, we were more interested in the actual story
because we were wanting to back it up with newspaper.
Yeah,
that was
is
the idea,
true.
was to back it up with newspaper stories.
I think the only real spirit we were able to back up really and truly was, remember our friend's stepdad came in and we were talking to a 4-year-old little girl who kept asking about him,
Mm-hmm.
and he was the only person we knew by that name at that time. And when we told him about it when he came home, come to find out he did have a little sister at the age of 4 that did drown, and he was there, and the message that she gave us to give him was it wasn't his fault.
Right.
I remember that as being like, holy, like oh my god, is this really real? Did this really just happen?
Yeah.
And I remember he just turned stone white and was crying the whole time.
And also going, how do you know?
Yeah, how do you know? How do you know? And he kept crying. I remember he kept crying, and so when we told him, he was just, I don't think he ever talked to us anymore after that. He kind of seemed to leave the situation because he all of a sudden wasn't stepdad anymore either.
Yeah. What is this word? Does this mean always be pleasant, never upset the spirits? Is that what that means? Pleasant?
Obescent? Obescent?
This is some weird language.
It's English, darling.
It's not English I'm familiar with.
I guess always be respectful.
Respectful, okay. Never upset the spirits. Because if you're that asshole that just wants to provoke, you're going to get trouble.
It is true.
Yeah.
If you call them, they will come.
Yeah. Oh, here it is. Never utilize Ouija in a graveyard or place where a terrible death has occurred, or you will bring forth malevolent entities.
Yep.
So we brought out those entities that night.
Yeah. Honestly. That was the most... Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I will never forget that.
Oh, didn't we also... Didn't somebody walk backwards around the grave 13 times?
I wasn't there for that one.
I think I read somewhere about trying to summon a spirit with a Ouija board and walking backwards around the grave.
Yeah,
yeah, we were stupid. I was totally stupid. The first Ouija boards were made from the wood of coffins. A coffin nail in the center of the planchette window accommodated as the pointer.
That is so freaky. I wonder if that coffin was someone that they knew.
So a container of death was used as the speaker to the dead.
Yipes. That's interesting.
Which looks like... Where was it? I saw a picture. I think I saw it.
Well, it doesn't matter. They can't see it on the radio.
Yeah. But
on
yeah,
the radio waves. So that's interesting. I wonder if that was from... Because, back in the 1800s or 1890s or something, grave robbing wasn't that uncommon. Yeah. I wonder if it was actually a family member, or maybe someone was like, hey, wouldn't it be interesting if, like you said, the carrier of death was used to communicate with the dead. Sometimes an evil spirit can inhabit a board. When this transpires, no other spirits will be able to utilize it. So once an evil spirit comes through to the board, you can't communicate with anyone else. Well, because I do remember one session we had where we were talking to somebody, and another spirit came in, and the spirit we were talking to kept telling us, "Don't talk to him, don't talk to him, don't talk to him," and then all of a sudden, we were never able to talk to that original spirit we were talking to.
Yeah, he got
and
bumped.
we could never get that spirit back.
Yeah.
Stupid ass.
Didn't one time the board said, "Put the board away"?
Yes.
Stop what you're doing, put the board away. It actually spelled that out. Stop what you're doing, put the board away.
Yeah.
And we're like, we want to ask more questions. No.
Yeah, we should have just...
But we did. We took the hint after several. No.
Yeah.
Okay.
There were some good eggs out there trying to help us out, but boy, did we not listen.
Oh my God. Ouija boards that are disposed of improperly come back to haunt the owner. Well, of course. Because you damaged it.
Yeah. Well, honestly, we did have spirit activity when we moved to California.
Mm-hmm.
But it was that house. That house already had history. What'd you
Well,
find?
I guess this didn't work for Mom. A Ouija board will scream if you try to burn it. People who hear the scream have less than 36 hours to live.
Maybe she didn't hear the scream.
She probably didn't hear the scream, but wow.
I think our little sister helped her burn it too.
Yeah.
I remember our little sister saying, though, that it took a while for it to catch on fire.
Yeah, because it wouldn't burn.
I remember she said that they went through a whole lighter and it wouldn't burn, and that's when Mom pulled out the lighter fluid.
Fluid?
Is that what you call it?
She got the lighter fluid?
Yeah.
Yeah, the charcoal.
Yeah.
Charcoal fluid?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so the only way to dispose
The
of
proper way.
The proper way to dispose of a Ouija board. Break the board into 7 pieces, sprinkle it with holy water, then bury it.
See, but that's another one of those religious things. That when you throw in a religious aspect, that's where it gets me, because why do you have to believe in a religious thing?
Because of the faith.
Yeah, but whatever. Yeah, anyways.
Because faith is supposed to protect you. That's
Yeah, but I'm saying, why does it have to be holy water? You know what I'm saying? Although...
Because spirits recognize relics of purification, because that's what it is.
That is true. Maybe they are bound to...
So they are bound to rules, religious or not. These are the icons they recognize.
It's kind of odd to wrap your mind around that, though.
Yeah. And seven's one of those occult, celestial, divine numbers.
Yeah.
Holy water. Everybody knows what holy water is.
Yeah.
It's supposed to purify anything from evil. Purify anything from evil. And then bury it is a form of...
consecration.
Right. With the holy water.
Yep.
So you're making consecrated ground. Yeah.
Yeah.
Arrange the letters and numbers into a circle so whatever is trapped within that circle can't escape. Oh, that's if you're using one of those handmade paper Ouijas.
Yeah, okay, kids, don't ever make your own Ouija.
Don't ever make your own Ouija.
Please do not.
That's just a bad idea.
I've heard way too many horror stories on friends of mine that have made their own Ouija boards and terrible, terrible stuff, way beyond anything that we've ever gone through, which was scary in its own right, but yeah, don't do it.
And Amityville 3D, they used Meg Ryan's first horror movie. They made their own Ouija with that paper stuff, and that's when they were talking in the Amityville house, and one of the kids was killed.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And this I didn't know either. If you place a pristine silver coin on the board, no evil spirits will be able to come through.
See,
if we had that information, that would have helped a lot.
And I'm wondering if iron would work as well, because iron can iron can banish ghosts.
Yeah.
So I wonder if
I don't know.
Silver and iron. I mean, of course, silver, but iron is. Yeah, so that kind of makes sense because they can't cross it.
Well, silver is one of those, another...
Silver and iron, a ghost can't cross.
They're another iconic purification things. So, oh, this we did all the time. Never leave the planchette on the board if you aren't utilizing it.
Yeah, who knew about that? Because I know it wasn't me.
No.
I know we were very adamant about if we're not using it, it's not to touch.
Yeah.
The board.
Yeah. But apparently the background on this one is if you're not using it and you haven't closed the session properly, the spirit can do spells using the planchette when you're not using it.
Because of the fact that it's like a portal now?
Yeah. Because if you don't close it, like I said, the door is still open, the window's open. Yeah. Okay. 3 things to never ask a Ouija board. Never ask about God. That always pisses somebody off. Never, ever ask when you're going to die. Because subconsciously, when somebody hears that they're going to die on such and such date and how they're going to make it happen, or the spirit will. And never ask where the gold is buried.
Right.
Okay, yeah.
Wild goose chase is right there.
So, using the Ouija board for buried treasure, not a good idea.
Yeah, because of the fact that spirits... Well, they sometimes give you that win, though, in the beginning. So I guess in the beginning...
But it's a start to the progressive entrapment.
Yeah, it's true. Here are some tips on if you're going to play the Ouija board. Ouija boards work best if you have candles on the same surface as the board is. Mm-hmm. If you don't have candles, you should have candles that... If you do have candles, you should have candles that are all the same scent. Because apparently it confuses your spirit if there's a bunch of different scents in the room.
Yeah.
Now that freaks me out.
Because we had different scents.
No, what freaks me out is... what are they, like... What's the scent thing? Can they attach scents? Do they attach to scents?
Yes. Because certain incense is a way to expel spirits or repel them. So they recognize smells.
So how would it confuse them if there's a bunch of different scents in the room?
Because dumbasses like us were.
Yeah. I can't tell you how many different half-burned candles we stole from our parents' houses.
Because there, like I said, there'd be scents that will repel them. There's ones that will summon them, and there's ones that give them say yes, and ones that say no. It's just too many mixed signals.
Got it.
Mixed signals is what it is, and it'll confuse them and make them angry.
Another tip is also apparently by saying Ouija, 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 or saying the name of the spirit you're talking to 3 times makes them answer faster.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Because we got through very well on our own dumbass way.
We did. I don't ever remember, oh my God, this is taking forever. I remember just getting right on the board and it was good to go.
Yeah.
Like the whole time.
Yeah.
Also, word of the wise, whatever you're dealing with in life, Ouija boards, whatever you're doing, always respect the spirit because they won't harm you. No, let me rephrase that.
Yeah.
Always respect the spirit because it's just easier to get flies with honey. I mean, honestly, you always want a good experience walking in and walking out.
Mm-hmm.
So if I were to give any kind of advice in life, but especially the Ouija board or anything in this manner, always be respectful.
Yeah, that's the thing. We weren't.
You want to walk out just like you walked in.
Yeah, we weren't respectful.
We weren't. We were stupid kids.
Stupid, and we paid for it.
So just remember, kids, Ouija board, the Scrabble, but with attitude.
And that wraps up another episode of EMZT Radio. Thank you, David Fitzgerald, for talking to us from Dead Things Game. He was a hoot. I really like talking to him.
Absolutely.
And I can't wait. I can't wait to play the game since I ordered his game.
You know what? That's the one thing we need to talk about is we're actually looking into. We're going to do a couple of experiments here. We're probably not going to do it live on Twitch yet.
No.
But we are looking into experiments where we get some of our friends, hit up a few games on Roll20, and have some fun.
Yeah.
So you might want to join us for that. That could be a lot of fun. Who knows?
Oh, I think it'd be hilarious to watch.
Absolutely. And not just Dead Things. I mean, we're talking about maybe a full-on RPG type horror deal.
Yes.
I'm looking through Roll20 and see what we can't buy and get for everybody and get ready to get rocking on this.
Be prepared. It's a little expensive.
It is a little expensive. But it's not as ridiculous as actually physically buying a board game.
Yeah.
Which I've come to learn. Like Pandemic is $75. What the fuck?
Oh. Well, David's game was only $35.
Yeah, $35.
So that wasn't bad.
Yeah, like I wanted to get when my girlfriend was down the last time. We wanted to get Ticket to Ride.
Oh,
it was $60 freaking.
Oh,
at Walmart.
Yeah.
Imagine what it is at an actual gaming store.
90.
Yeah, at least. But anyways. I digress. So yeah, we're gonna look on Roll20, and there's a new gaming store in town. Maybe I need to talk to them about
there you go,
sponsoring it.
We have a GameStop here.
We have a full on we have a game exchange now. It's right beside. This is genius. Whoever thought about this really put a lot of thinking into it because we have a comic book store right beside Matt's game exchange now.
Wow.
So it's like
wow.
one stop nerd shopping. It's like, good. Oh, good. I can get $100 and then I can do all my shopping at one place and I can get the fuck home.
Oh, yeah. We lost
awesome.
our comic book store. We have no comic book store in this town.
We now have two.
Before we had two. Now they're both gone.
Yeah, we have two now.
Yeah. So I have to find other places to get my free comic book day, which will be, 60 miles outside of town?
Yeah. I can't wait for free comic book day.
Yeah, I missed it because no comic store.
I know. I had to work on free comic book day this year. We had a remote.
Yeah, I was
the comic
for years.
The comic book store that opened in this town opened on Free Comic Book Day.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. I'm sure that was planned. I'm just,
Oh,
happy.
You bet. That was where they'd get the most business.
Yep. But anyways, I digress because, digressing is fun.
And there's links to David's site going to be in the show notes, so you can check out his site and buy his game.
Yes, absolutely. And of course, as per usual, head over to thatgamingshop.com. Did I say it right? Thatgamingshop.com? That techshop.com. Sorry.
Tech shop.
That Tech Shop. Head over to thattechshop.com. Put in the code EMZT. Get 20% off of items there. What else is there? I got some acoustic foam from them.
Ooh.
So, I gotta get some more board so I can put it up. Make a temporary little studio.
Ooh. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, my place is gonna move too. My my recording place. Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
All right. Other than that, Patreon, Discord,
Maker support, Spotify,
Spotify, Facebook, Twitter.
The link will be in the show notes because that's the only way you can find us at the moment.
Yeah. And YouTube. Don't forget our YouTube. We always forget our YouTube channel.
Right, and YouTube.
We
that's
technically
always
have two, but
yes.
We're gonna put more video. We promise to put more videos up on the YouTube.
Working on it.
Yeah, I need to get some more. I'm trying to find a good way to download gaming nights, so I can edit those and put them up for EMZT plays, because we are getting to the nitty gritty. EMZT on Mixer, EMZT Productions on Mixer, I should say. We're getting down to it on Fallout 4. We are getting down to the end here. We have, I think, 2 more missions left with Far Harbor. And then we got to finish the story with Dima. And Far Harbor will be done at that point. So we'll probably get about another month for Fallout Mondays. And yes, I'm trying to save up, and I will be getting Fallout 76. And we will be doing once Fallout 76 comes out, Fallout Mondays will feature Fallout 76.
All right.
Throwback Tuesdays, old school Tuesdays, whatever the hell you want to call it. Devil May Cry. We took the week off from that because it was the 4th of July. No gaming Wednesday and Thursday unless Bane jumps on, which Mixer isn't really friendly to PS4.
No.
Friday night, the Chill Out Zone. Well, we're moving State of Decay to Saturday nights. Friday night, Chill Out will come in. AMAs, basically, at that point. Come in, chat, say hello.
Yep.
Say vile, mean, nasty names, too, if you want to. I don't know. Could work. Saturday night, State of Decay, and Sunday night's another chill stream. So Fridays and Sundays is basically AMAs.
There you go.
So I will be playing games. You can ask me anything.
Mm-hmm.
That's
right.
Within the bounds of good taste, please, because 9 times out of 10 the girlfriend is there. So if you ladies want to come in, please, and some of you guys, please keep the questions within the bounds of good taste.
Yes.
Okay, because she'll castrate me and then probably come right after you. So
yes.
She gets a little jealous every now and then. So, I don't lie to anybody.
She's cool. But she's cool.
She's cool as long as you keep your hands to yourself. Is basically what I'm trying to say.
Don't mess with her man.
Yeah, don't put your hands on me, please. And I will respectfully tell you no.
Right.
So, because I'm that kind of person. Respectfully, I like to respect people. Anyways, I'm just rambling on at this point.
Yeah, we're done.
Yeah,
we're done.
We're so done. Ramble out!
Oh, wait. One more thing. Alex Fernandez Dawn, Season 2, Episode 1 is out. Go and watch it. It's fucking awesome. I wanted to mention that, but I forgot. I was like, episode 1, it just, it's amazing.
Link in the show notes.
Link in the show notes.
Yep. All right. Till next week. Bye-bye.
Stay tuned for another episode of EMZT Radio.
Pastries.